All right, here we go. Let's go and jump on into this. We're seeing a smoke out from the Dire. Dark Mago looking to place an aggressive ward. Will be able to do so as the rest of the team wraps around.
I'll be honest, Cryptic, I forgot I muted myself because I took a drink.
Oh boy, I was like,
so for the last 40 seconds, I was talking like, mate, this is a really weird conversation.
I was thinking to myself, I'm like, maybe you spilled something on his
me,
keyboard. Maybe I don't know.
No, it's all on me. I was like, mate, this is such a weird conversation. It feels like we're talking, but like somehow progressing it, but not really coherently. No, I'd muted myself. My bad, boys. We're back.
After like 20 minutes, I would have probably said something,
No. It's all on me. My technical error there.
Beautiful. Okay, at least I'm not crazy. I was like, I literally like looked at my internet connection, like checked my VMA. I was like, am I disconnected?
Dear
What's
production.
going on here, buddy? Lumiere with the meld strike. I mean, you might be able to do some cheeky play onto Nightfall, but they will do exactly that. The double meld. They give the kill to the Templar Assassin. The smoke paid off this time. Well, you lose all 4 bounties, though. You get first blood, but you get 4 bounties. So,
And that's maybe why Nightfall's tipping. It's like, you got a kill, but you also lost, what is it, like 160 gold for everyone now? Not too worth. Oh, Oscar behind tower, doing the body blocks, trying to get that wave under tower. He will be successful.
It's always a pretty neat trick. I think people forget it, like kind of underestimate just doing that in the level 1. I mean, it puts you it changes how you play the lane, right? Because now like Luna's probably gonna get the level 2 before you, as well as the Pugna, but it's closer to your tower, I suppose, so safer.
Yeah, especially if you block up the small camp, then it prevents the Radiant team from pulling. The Radiant creep wave will be in front of the Dire tower, so yes, they might get level 2 advantage, but they'll not be able to utilize it because you are so close to your own tower.
Yeah.
Overall, quite a nice play to make, especially in lanes that you're not going to be the primary aggressors in. Like Wraith King, even with level 1 stun, it's a very low damage spell. It does, like 75 damage plus a little bit of tick damage after. So very much a farm lane there.
Yeah.
Until skeletons are in play.
I haven't really seen a Wraith King not go Vamp level 1 in a while, but like obviously needed it for that first blood, so it makes sense in that regard. But definitely slows down your ability to start building these skeletons, because you really want to have the like at level 3 you want like the 2 points in Vamp Spirit, so you can have your 4 skeletons up like right away and start playing aggressive with them. Top lane, nice grab here from Panda as well as Lumiere. And I mean, I was talking about the Ancient Apparition being squishy, but that first blood actually gave him a little bit of an XP advantage to play around. Well, Panda taking a lot of damage. Pure will be able to finish him off, and Lumiere unable to find the returns, so he's gonna have to back up in the lane a little bit. Careful. Side blades.
Pure's even buying another sub, actually. The region is so important.
Ooh. Blood grenade comes out. Lumiere does have 7 stick charges to play around, so he's can always try to bait around those.
Yeah, the good thing for this lane for Panda is he's playing the Ancient Apparition, right? Like he's able to have a high ranged hero that also can relatively match the range of Lina, so the trade should be relatively even.
That is true.
The old, Storm versus Kunkka. It's very much a trade of farm. I think Storm should often pull ahead slightly, either in CS a couple or denies, just because you have the remnants to kind of scare Kunkka a little bit from going up to every single creep. But so far, very even game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually really funny watching the charge come through, and then he just gets like hit by a chilling touch and just goes to basically a crawl and has to like wait a full second before he starts charging again. It's pretty good.
It's also like Spirit Breaker in lane is one of the heroes that you don't really apply pressure too much unless you have a position 4 that gives you presence, right? Like Spirit Breaker himself, like with the move slows of Ancient Apparition with Vortex, with the Chilling Touch, that's going to prevent his damage output from Bash. And then if you throw like a Lean or a Dark Widow behind you, that can just offset that a little bit and provide you just more presence in lane.
And Save is just like throwing these LSAs like constantly, just trying to do what he can here. But I will say I'm a little bit surprised with how well the safe lane is going for the Radiant. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they managed to find a really nice kill there onto the Pugna. Oscar unable to find the exchange here. This is, of course, taking advantage of those skeletons like right away. Like he got kind of the skeleton army up, hits the Wraith Fire Blast into the Ink Swell, and there's just nothing that he can do.
Yeah, both teams just kind of poking at each other, getting cheap kills here and there. It's a much nicer start though for Wawitas. When we think about the games that they've had so far today, like this is the type of start that you'd want to see from the team, and a little bit of pressure being applied to GPK. Has the Falcon Blade coming out, extra bit of mana regen, tankiness, and just all around quite nice utility for the hero. But if Kunkka was to hit 6 before Storm, then maybe we could entertain like 1 TP into kill, but it does look like Storm is only a quarter of the way there. So should be able to instantly get 6 and make rotations near impossible for the Dire side.
Yeah, unless Dark Mago can get a bunch of denies here, but ends up going the other way. Oh, man, GPK grabs him. Top lane, though. Another fight breaking out here. Lumiere needs to be careful. Does finally pop the stick he's been holding. As Pure, no charge for a few more seconds. Panda will get caught on that
nice
LSA. And the question is, will he get caught by a random bash? Charge in 1. Finally gets it.
Oh, but now he's used the bash, so this dive won't be as effective.
That was a really nice fort. He
doesn't even need a
refraction.
Oh, he had refraction.
He had refraction. He got attacked like through the trees there. I don't even think he saw Pure's attack coming through.
That's pretty awkward.
That is very awkward. Maybe he wanted to reset. I don't know. Like sometimes like scary, like you're in lane and you're like, I just want to die and come back to lane. Like maybe that was one of those scenarios. Attitude. But yeah, I don't know. Giving any gold to a Spirit Breaker feels almost never worth it.
It's not the best. Like Spirit Breaker is for offlaners and how they go. He is probably one of the greediest offlaners.
Yeah.
In certain hands, because it's like he wants to buy Midas, then he wants to go Octarine, and then he buys like BKB Shadowblade or whatever. Like Spirit Breaker players will still join fights and do stuff, but in regards to like the greed of itemization, it's a lot of economy just for himself before his team starts feeling the full effect of it.
Yeah, it's like the old Doom, except there's literally no he has almost no drawbacks in terms of like him being bullied out of the lane and stuff.
Yeah, and there doesn't really seem to be any stacks being made due to the laning pressure of the Lina with the Spirit Breaker. There aren't any ancient camps for Nightfall to look back towards. Of course, his lane has been very free, 54 CS to the 35 of Wraith King. With the 2 points in Moonglaives, he's just going to push out the skeletons if they are to be spawned. So his tier 1 tower will be protected. And I think now BetBoom, now they've got themselves through the laning phase, no like weird shenanigans have occurred. They'll get themselves in the groove of just hitting the creeps, push out the lanes. If Storm wants to get an active rune and make a play, they will. But otherwise, it's just every call for themselves, do your thing.
Yeah. Well, they will find GPK here. He needs the boat to follow this one up. Oh, he doesn't. He just gets him. The constant pump fakes on the pullback. Wow, that is that's like mind games, and he dodges the LSA as well. All right, Dark Mago, I see you, dude.
All right, yeah. I mean, again, I need to double check, but I'm pretty sure this is his most played
competitive hero.
Hero, yeah.
It is. It's
128 games, 63% win rate. His second is 126 on Tiny.
Yeah,
and then he has only one other hero. Tiny. Yeah, and then Ember is 110. So he's got 3 heroes competitively with over 100 games, which is a lot of competitive games.
Yeah,
on a single hero.
Yeah, this was the hero, like I said, that put him definitely on the map in the pro scene. Like, a lot of people were kind of unsure who he was, and then he would just pick Kunkka, and suddenly you're getting ran over by this like Kunkka mid randomly. And speaking of it, he's
Trying to
looking
do it.
for Nightfall bottom. They will grab the beautiful Wraithfire Blast out from Oscar. The boat, as well as even Panda is here. Hello, they've brought the whole team. Toronto Tokyo unable to save him. The charge coming through from Pure. They're looking to grab the Ancient Apparition, and they will. The question is, can they get more? Oscar still has Reincarnation available. He's going to be forced to use it, but Kunkka dies. The bashes from Pure. Oh no, the chase continues as Oscar. He does not have a lot of help left, as he's just trying to hope that, you know, maybe they'll let him go, but no. Vortex into a stun.
The turnaround ability of BetBoom is just exceptional, right? Like, yes, you have Kunkka setting the pace of the game, gets that kill onto the Luna, but the time spent, you got to charge in, the zip in, and all of the above from the other cores, and yeah, in doing so, some return kills do go the way of BetBoom. But if you look towards the top side of the map, TA, she's farming. The mare, 5,600 net worth, already pretty much when you say there's 3 components in Deso, but I'm just going to say she's a component deep because the it's basically just 2, right? It's 2 hammers and a blight. Let's ignore the blights here, right? She's halfway to Desolator. Let's go with that one.
I agree with you. I can get behind that.
Let's just ignore the fact Blightstone's used.
They don't get the X pull back this time. Of course, he's able to just dodge it with the Ball Lightning. And that's Ice Blast down now. So not an amazing feeling. They get the Vortex into the LSA. There's going to be the Laguna as well, but it's Kunkka. What can you do?
Instant X mark as well. Like, yeah, double bracer, wand. Doesn't even have to pop the wand. He's like, yeah, all right, nice one.
Thanks, guys.
That was a pretty cool jump, though, right? Like, GPK has, like, no HP. You'd never expect the Storm to come back in. And, obviously, you just survive, but still, just the idea of it's pretty cool. Pure going on to the Wraith King. A nice bash once again.
Oh,
just enough.
Well. He needs help here on Oscar. He's going to pop a salve here. Pure, no charge for 13 more seconds.
Has
no summons available, so yeah, there it is. Quick pick up there from the supports. Nice rotation. Good punish in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it's nice to see Pure being very active, right? Like, Spirit Breaker players nowadays, they are a lot greedier. They focus on their own game. It's like, and I'm enjoying the fact that he is just moving around the map, just breaking the spirits of his opponent. Every time they show, they die. Like, you compare the moves made from this offlane Spirit Breaker to the Wraith King, right? Wraith King's got Phase Boots and Radiance queued up. 4,100 net worth. 5,500 net worth Spirit Breaker, Phase Boots Midas, even though he's got Midas, but he's still just doing a lot of just nice map moves. A lot of farm needed for Dire. A lot of farm.
I mean, we're really close to the Aether Lens as well for this Lina, and that's going to be, you know, we've seen how problematic it can be when you get that Aether Lens, just a bonus cast range for Light Strike Array completely from Fog. So we'll have to be very careful about that. Lumiere is still top net worth on the Templar Assassin. He has just been cleaning up stack after stack so far, so he is doing very well in the Templar Assassin. He bought out a Blink Dagger and a Dragon Lance before going back for that.
Look at Wraith King again.
Where's his reincarnation timing? Okay, so he has it. Pure. Can they actually bring him down? They have an Ice Blast available. It looks like they're not going to commit it, so they're just going to go X, pull back into the boat, and a nice pick up there for Dark Mango. So they do punish the Spirit Breaker finally.
They had to. That was that was not greedy, but it was just such a consistent script of aggression, right? It's like, I see Wraith King, I go, like, constantly. That was his one game plan, and finally he gets punished. And they are the type of kills that help him out. And Oscar, he pivots his build. He doesn't want to be greedy. He's looking just to go straight Blade Mail, and yeah, sure. Yeah, it's on his courier. So their timing now is double Blade Mail, Kunkka Wraith King. TA's 1100 gold from Deso. She went back for the Blink Dagger. So the entirety of Wawitas just itemized for, we want to win a fight at like 15 minutes, right? Like,
yeah.
Then we talk about first Roshan. Will BetBoom identify this and position more defensively? Or will they not care and just try and rip through them? We'll have to see, but for Wawitas, we're minutes away from them needing to sync up as a team. You do not buy double blade mail and just keep farming.
Dude, in the middle of what you were just saying, my brain immediately went to find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Lumiere bottom lane gets caught out. Beautiful find there from the team. And yeah, Ice Blast not going to connect either. They will go ahead and find a return here, potentially onto Nightfall. The X pull back into the boat. The silence from the Grimstroke will catch Pugna. So he cannot offer that assistance, but in comes Pure. The Spirit Breaker charge through, connects onto 3, but Knight trying to survive. He will not be able to. Oscar still has Reincarnation to work with. Dark Mago's Rum. It's expiring. There's going to be a nice Nether Strike. The LSA connects. They want to go for GPK, but they don't have the catch as Pure just continuing to rampage through this fight. The X will hold him back for the moment, as well as the Torrent, and it might be the space they need to disengage. Well, Sage's dying to skeletons. Uh-oh.
Run! He's dead.
Oh,
no, he's not.
I mean, they're going to continue the chase there. They know exactly where he is.
Oh, of course he's going to smoke himself.
Oh, man. Lumiere with the blink. LSA comes out. The spooky boys. They're going to get him eventually. He tries to go for the deny. Oh. There it is. Knight gets him.
All right. The tankiness is coming through now for Wawitas, right? Like you've got Reincarnation, the boat. They're bringing the heroes to the fight, and BetBoom overplaying their hand a little bit. They're very excited to take these engagements, and there's a nice pickoff on the tier to start with, but already at the exact same time, Wawitas was smoking to that area anyway, sorry. So they get onto that Luna, they do kill her off. And of course, BetBoom, even with a carry dead, they're trying to, play the limits of their heroes to get a little bit more, but you can't really do it, especially with the tankiness that we already just mentioned.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. You still have the Space Cow, which is arguably one of the best scaling heroes in all of Dota, which was always the one thing that made Spirit Breaker not, viable for a while. And here we are.
Are you referencing the Reddit post right now?
There's a Reddit post about this?
Yeah, there's a Reddit post like the other day where it's like heroes back in the day versus modern day or something. And it was like how Spirit Breaker used to provide BKB piercing control and map pressure, but couldn't scale. And it's like modern day does everything. And then did the same thing with Bristleback, where it's like wasn't really that strong, could easily get killed by break, instantly kills anyone before break matters or something. It was like, it was a good meme.
Nice.
But don't worry, guys. You're weeks or months away from a patch. Smile. Who knows? Frostivus could just be an event. Like, that's the thing.
They said they're releasing it with the patch, right? Not the letter patch. Like 3.5 is releasing with Frostivus, right? Didn't they say that?
All I know, I can't remember. All I know, Crypt, is you're a passionate man, so just don't be upset if it's only an event.
7.34. What patch number are we on right now?
We're on 7.34E right now. I would guess that we go to...
F's in chat, baby. Let's go.
That'd actually be hype if they did the 7.34 FU patch just to spite everyone. And then in January, we got like the hype patch. That'd be S tier.
That'd be a good troll for sure.
They just buff all the heroes that people complain about just for one last Christmas showdown.
It's like one day the patch is here and it's just Spirit Breaker. Bulldoze has 100% uptime.
He doesn't even need to charge anymore. Just his proximity to creeps, they just instantly disappear.
Oh man, I like that. Write that down.
Do you also like the fact that Wawitas are dictating the pace of the game this time around and they're going Roshan first?
I mean, this is the best looking game from them so far, and this Roshan, I mean, they've gotten Roshan first in other games, but failed to really capitalize with it. But I think where they're at right now, I like this. Like they get the Aegis for your TA, they're TPing bottom, they have an Ice Blast already on the way. Dark Mago does have a shield rune, so he's gonna tank a decent chunk, and there it is. Ice Blast connects onto 3. The question is, who do they get? It looks like it's just gonna be Alina, which
also going in.
Oh wait, GPK. Not going to shatter here, so he's going to be just fine.
They're looking at top. They're charging onto the TA.
Oh, the question is... Okay, yeah. There's going to be an easy grab onto the first Aegis. Well...
Invis and dead.
And dead. They actually don't have detection, though, so they have to back. That's quite good.
Now you take the win.
Yeah, you do. That being said, it might not be too much of a win as they are chasing for more here, looking for Toronto, Tokyo. Nightfall will TP on out, but Lumiere will punish this. And they should be able to go for the tier 1 tower as well.
It's all about just delaying the pace, right? Like when you're a TA with an Aegis, you look at towers with ease. As soon as you lose that Aegis, you realize, wait a second, I just died to one charge combo. Even if my team's here,
oh, they got GPK!
Oh,
dude,
wait,
what? Does the Torrent Storm connect, though? It doesn't. Wait, it will it?
They have an X, though.
All right, well, who even needs Torrent Storm?
I didn't see the X, but if he wasn't X there and just zipped out of that too, that would have been, whew.
Yeah. Dude, now it was just a really nice blind torrent from Dark Mago there to find him. Well, Octarine is done for Pure, so you are scaling on the Spirit Breaker for sure now. And here comes the charge. Who's he looking for? Oh, no, he's just charging creep waves. So we saw this last game. BetBoom made this exact play where they were like, all right, we're going to take, you know, your whole top lane, or your whole bottom lane rather, and pressure for that early Tormentor at 20 minutes. And right now we're going to see Lumiere on the TA basically get the double meld strike, secure the enemy Tormentor on the dot. So very, very, very nice being able to deny that away from BetBoom.
Yeah. Nice shard for the AA as well, right? I think this Ice Blast shard is one of the main reasons why AA is, you know, very viable, I'd say, right? It gives your cold feet 60% of it into your ultimate, so you get like a little mini stun. So now when you actually hit your ult, you're going, guys, they're stunned here for a second, now collapse on them, rather than it being like, oh, we hit them, but now they're running away. Like, I think it really does give a lease of life. BetBoom, though, they lose the Tormentor. They're going to be going for...
get this.
Hold, have belief. What is this?
A save is going to die if they stay for this. I mean, I guess Toronto, Tokyo, and Pure can get it. Okay.
You got to have belief nowadays.
I'm surprised that Wawitas didn't like back to defend their own Tormentor, but I guess it feels kind of rough like going off the map for that.
I also don't think maybe they expect it, right? Like it's two supports and a Spirit Breaker.
Dude, Dark Mago has his number, man. The blind torrent once again.
This Kunkka is popping off. Like, maybe a reason why they don't get their hands on it. And I think if he's playing like this on Kunkka, why weren't they just first picking this in the previous games? Why did it take 4 games to get to this stage?
Oh, yeah, I mean, they could have first picked it. Yeah, yeah, you're right. It was always banned in phase 2, but I like the first pick.
Yeah. Like, they're styling right now. They're actually doing so much work. Of course, Kunkka has been leading the charge on most of it, and we haven't really given much praise to Oscar, but I was skeptical on the Blade Mill a little bit, but the way that he brought Blade Mill into Blink, play with his team, sacrifice his own farm, like, I think if he went Radiance, it's too much of a farm game straight away. I don't mind him going for it after the fact, but both the Wraith King and Kunkka together have really just brought out some energy into a somewhat defeated Wawitas.
Well, let's talk about Nightfall. This is we kind of haven't really seen him enter the game anytime recently. So he's got his BKB done now, has his shard queued up, so he's gonna try and tank through a lot of the damage that comes through from the Dire, but see if they can manage to make that happen. Playing into run buff as well. Oh, there's going to be the charge into both supports. What a disaster. They get a nice soulbind onto 2. They have Ice Blast available. GPK forced to BKB. Pure catches the boat. Can they bring down that Storm Spirit? It doesn't look like it, but they caught Pure on the backside. Ice Blast does connect, and Lumiere just chews right through him. GPK almost out of mana. Oscar trying to chase after him, and he will be able to survive, so he's going to survive. Hey, that's a good TP on out. Ends up being a 2-for-1. Dude, that fight I thought was going to be so rough, but the Glimmer Cape from the Ancient Apparition keeping him alive was enough, and they've managed to get on top of the Luna now. Oscar just trying to chase him, and honestly, they should be able to close this gap eventually. Yeah, a second trap. There's going to be the spawn from the Skeletons. Wraithfire Blast in 3. A Meld Strike from the TA, and Nightfall will fall.
They're immensely struggling in how they get into the fight. The fact that your start of the fight, your Spirit Breaker's behind the tier 2 tower, that isn't really a place where the rest of your team can position perfectly to enable each other, right? And yeah, Wawitas, that just capitalize on it. They have plenty of damage now. The cores are tanky enough to give AA and Grimstroke kind of presence in the fights. TA is just ripping through heroes. Spirit Breaker, he's a tanky hero, but he doesn't really have a lot of armor, right? Only 12 armor to his name right now. One mode strike, and he's in a very difficult position, right? He's going to go from, what, 12 down to 4. 4 armor is not a healthy number in the armor game.
Come on, what are you talking about? That's fine. Wait, is it? He also has Orb of Destruction. So he has -10 armor on TA.
Oh, I didn't see it. Okay. All right. In that case, he's got 2 armor. That isn't a healthy number in the armor game. There you go.
Thank you.
We can just crop the 2 clips together. There you go.
Yeah. Dark Mago closing in on his Heart of Tarask. I mean, he's got the Reaver already. He's basically just the recipe away, so 1,400 gold. And, I mean, at that point, Kunkka is such a menace, dude. He's got his Shard, his Aghanim Scepter, of course, already done. Taking these fights as a Spirit Breaker is going to be borderline impossible until he gets a BKB.
He is very close to it. He's holding 2 Midas charges. So, 1...
Nice.
Ooh, doesn't want to use it on the small creep. Only going for the
Patience.
HP. There we go, yeah. We can watch him use the second one now.
Oh,
there we go.
That's good stuff.
And a little charge, and that's practically BKB. Yep.
What a cool hero. All right, we're closing in on the Radiance, actually. Oscar is 6 gold away. Hey. He has managed to eventually crawl his way back to the Radiance.
GPK, they're looking, but jumping a Wraith King doesn't feel that good. Rare to see BetBoom making smokes that don't really connect, and
that's a good team work.
Wawitas, they're doing pretty much whatever they want to do right now.
I mean, they're just going to be waiting for the next Roche, and it's actually a pretty quick spawn. 40 seconds here. See if they manage to scout it out in time. Good TP from Dark Mago. Does not want to let this like tier 2 tower like just take a bunch of damage. So what do you think about this Linkens from Lumiere? He has queued up.
It's one of those games where BKB doesn't feel great because of Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
But you kind of need BKB to deal with like the Lina/Luna damage output. And then you also kind of want Nullifier, but then like kind of Lincoln is like the middle ground where it's like I can't get charged unless they pop it, but then also I can't get Lagoona'd or Decrept. So now it changes the fight a little bit, and it's a little bit more impactful than I'd say a BKB. But it's still one of those things where it's like you want a Lincoln's and a Daedalus and a Nullifier, and you want everything on TA, but it's a good step in the right direction at least.
Oh my gosh, Dark Mago does it again. He manages to find Toronto Tokyo. The boat ends up not connecting, but a Soulbind will hold the Pugna in place, so he's gonna have a hard time making it out of this one. On the backside, GPK goes in, does manage to find the Grimstroke. A nice ult from Nightfall as well, but Oscar tanking up a lot of it now. Ice Blast off the mark, ends up falling short, and pure BKB trying to get away. So far, 1 for 0 on a buyback from the Pugna, but the Dire has spent a lot for this. They need to get more here. They see save on the Lina, but he gets the blink out, so he's going to survive. Is this going to be enough time to get the Roche on?
You'd surely expect it, right? Especially when BKBs that use BetBoom are going to be contesting there. I think BetBoom, they are lacking so much damage. I think the Shard from Stormspirit could be, pivotal and bringing the game back a little bit, right? It's additional ways to buff up your Luna, because this Luna practically absent from the game. The only time that we spoke about Nightfall was when he was dying to pickoffs, right? It's a 1, 4, and 3, but Stormspirit, Shard, you then get the Ags, get some like a little 2-3 man vortexes going, pair that with the Moonglaive, AoE damage. There is, of course, always comeback potential with the Stormspirit, but right now, with the items that BetBoom have, in open play on the map, they don't do anything to Wawitas. And that is refreshing to say. I'm happy to say I was a skeptic, but this is their game to lose now for Wawitas. Like, they have everything in their control to find their first game win in this in the day of the groups.
I mean, you talked about it in the draft initially too, right? Grimstroke being a good late game counter to the Luna, eventually from the Aghanim Scepter, and I mean, Knight's getting there. He's got the Glimmer Cape and the Aether Lens, so now he's queues up the Ags, and
you're forgetting the main item there, boss.
Oh.
He's got the Philly Stone. No wonder he's gonna have that Aghanims in the game. Money be printing.
Dude, both supports have Philly Stone. Well, Panda gets caught inside the base. They're just going to go for the XT. Well, did they have the X? No. Dark Mago does not make it in time.
Okay, Nightfall completes the butterfly. All right. So for BetBoom, it's like, game is like kind of despair, but there is still like light at the end of the tunnel, right? Because they know Spirit Breaker can always keep the lanes pushed out. There is this comeback potential. Like, Storm Spirit is one of the best mids at kind of offsetting a game from behind, right? In that regard of the jump. What's up?
So like this Luna has, you know, the evasion from Elven Tunic and Butterfly, and I watched Lumiere just miss 7 of 8 attacks on it. He was trying to kill an illusion, just like miss. I was like, what is going on? It was very funny. Sorry.
Yeah. Nightfall will maybe be a little bit upset with his itemization when Grim gets Ags, right? Because if he's got this much evasion now, this Grimstroke Dark Portrait will be near unkillable. So it's like great for Nightfall. You can survive the TA now, but in about 8 minutes time, your team will despise you because you are just. So
it's like that old
Medusa.
It's like when you play like the Medusa into the Darkseer, right? And you're like, just please don't buy like, you know, Daedalus and Butterfly. Like anything else would be great, thank you. And then he buys Butterfly, Daedalus, and your whole team dies to a Darkseer illusion.
Exactly. Very annoying.
They're going on the Storm Spirit. I mean, that's huge if they can get him, but he has the Aegis. And that tier 3 tower is taking a beating. Good attempt there from Dark Mago, looking to grab GPK, X pull back into the Torrent, but Lumiere just trying to tick down this tower. Luna, however, has pushed this top lane all the way into the tier 3 with a catapult. So they're going to have to respond to this. I mean, XTP would be, you know, would make the most sense, but it looks like they'll just back entirely.
We're now in that kind of strategic part of the game. People refer to it as like the kind of the macro choices for BetBoom. As the game gets harder, you could also argue the decision-making gets easier, right? It's just skip waves, Luna play quite a rat game, and then eventually you'll find an opportunity to get back into it. But if you're Dire, it's, are our lanes are in a good position? Are we having to deal with some side lane threat? If side lane threat's present, is it big enough of a threat where we can't now siege ourselves? And whilst you have the Aegis, you kind of want to progress the game to a winning state. But if you're having to think about other things, then you're not really just hitting those tier 3s. And going high ground, like in all things, is very hard. When TA is your only one that hits the high ground, one charge into LSA combo, you lose Aegis, you're in a difficult spot, right? So I think for Wawitas, they had quite a healthy gold lead, and it's slowly slipping away because they're having to do a lot of overthinking in this position, right? And you can just argue it's because of the Spirit Breaker, right? It's like that non-stop deal with some lanes somewhere being pushed into you. Same thing with Storm Spirit, right? Storm Spirit used to be that hero where he'd zip through waves and constantly keep them out, but of course Spirit Breaker does that. There's a lot less resources. Yes, yeah.
And he's got to be one of the best heroes in all of Dota for stalling games at this point. Because you just have to like submit. You have to commit so many resources to actually finding the kill on him.
You've not played into Underlord, Sniper, Keeper of the Light. What's the other ones? We'll throw a Storm Spirit in there for fun and a Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
You know, there was as we're in a bit of a down point. So I play a lot of unranked in Europe, right? The unranked scene varies from like 7k to 8k average stacks, right? So it's a pretty healthy scene for non-competitive games. There's one stack, and they named their guild the opposite of my guild name. And whenever they match into us, they only pick Underlord, Coptal, Sniper, etc. because they don't want to play against us. So they make it their testament to buy Midases and to delay the game as long as possible. They never go for kills. They only push waves. I've not seen them for about 4 or 5 months, but every time I found them, it was the same thing. It was hysterical. Also boring, but the fact that
like
the 5 human beings in life did this as like their go-to hobby was great.
Oh my goodness. That's not like, yeah, that's just so, yeah, that'd be insufferable Dota games.
I'll find the Dota buff. I'll link it to you after, but alas, Wawitas, they're smoking up. Aegis has expired, but they feel desperate to make something happen in the game.
I think they saw GPK for a moment, and oh man, unlucky there from Oscar. Tries to go for him, but the Ice Blast is just barely off the mark too.
Barely, yeah.
Good read from Panda Boo, but just does not grab him.
Not close enough, yeah. Christ, we are just seeing the full effect of Spirit Breaker right now.
Yeah, I mean the game's net worth is completely even now. They were, what, 8K behind at one point, and it's just now BetBoom has the advantage because Spirit Breaker makes it impossible to, I don't know, end games. He has a Wind Waker almost.
You just need to kind of see through the illusion of what he does, right? Like when lanes are going into, just like put your little blinkers on and just look at one lane. Like this is our lane, protect it and go. They haven't done that, but now BetBoom, they're smoked up. They look like they have the ability to fight. There's a Yules now on Spirit Breaker, so can destroy it. And of course, the Aghanims and Shard are in play for GPK. If they find a 2 or 3 man jump, heroes will get absolutely deleted from the overload.
Well, they just jump in. They're looking for the Kunkka. This is not the target you want to find, though. He is too dang tanky. Does get some vision and a silence onto the Storm Spirit, but a Yules comes out. Lumiere jumps forward, grabs the Wisdom Rune away from Pure. But they need detection. Spirit Breaker's just standing here invis. They don't have it. Oh. I mean, earlier you said this is going to be the game for Wawitas to lose since they have such a good foothold in this game, but the longer and longer this goes on, I worry about their chances, man. This Spirit Breaker hero is something else.
Yeah, it's just the speed in which you can play the map, right? Once BetBoom get over the hurdle of not doing damage into Kunkka Wraith King, suddenly just the creeps die so quickly, and Pure, he's getting jumped a little bit here, but he has the Yules, he's got a BKB, surely he doesn't die.
Surely, right?
He can even charge top if he wants for another creep wave.
Oh, if he needed if he got the X there, he was dead, but...
he's going, he doesn't go all the way top, but...
what a hero. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, the resources to kill him are just ridiculous. Like, you commit boats, you commit... You know, it's just not enough.
Okay, so at least for Wawitas, this point of the game is awkward for them, but they do know that some key items are coming out, right? The Grimstroke Act is only 600 gold away. He's currently farming top lane.
True.
And a Nullifier was complete on Wraith King. So yeah, Wraith King, he can get into the middle of the fight, prevent the decreps, and on top of that, if you get the Dark Portrait and Luna, like it should, in theory, be very good for Wawitas. But they just need to isolate the heroes and, you know, get the items off correctly. Of course, Nightfall has a Shadowblade now, so positioning will be, I'd argue, advantage to him. There isn't really a gem carrier for Dire side that can consistently find him with ease, but it'll be the beautiful balance between the two of the teams. Like, can Grim find the Luna? Can Luna delay her entry to the fight to prevent the portrait?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to go in, charge onto Panda. Pure is there, plenty of damage to fall through, and GPK just kind of takes through nice two-hero LSA. There's going to be the Laguna. You still have a cheese on Dark Mago if he can get it off in time. He's holding it for a while. There comes your reincarnation. Pure on the run. The Nullifier not quite there. Needs another second, but a huge eclipse from Nightfall. That is going to be a nice pickoff. Wraith King is down, and Dark Mago did commit the cheese. That run buff's expired. Do they have the damage? It looks like they do. Oh, no. It is falling apart for Wawitas.
Yes. They had a pretty good opportunity that second Aegis, right? They were getting close to the tier 3 bottom, but ever since they overreacted to this top lane, not even siege, it was just a couple of illusions, the game just kind of fell apart. Of course, they have the Ags now, right? So one smoke and it can always bring it back. Aegis is going the way of BetBoom whilst we do look at this replay. GPK, of course, styling a little bit there, right? Jumps in, then jumps back out, dodges a stun. They delay the kill on the Wraith King as long as possible to prevent that AoE slow, but with the double BKB, they can disengage, and with the ward placed just to the Kunkka now, that ward provides all the vision for this fight. Even the TP here, if that ward isn't in play or is slightly to the right, maybe the Kunkka could have escaped, but yeah. I guess the other question is, where was TA? Yeah, just fist bumps, of course. The admin just really just loving the fact that BetBoom was winning. That was a replay from the pre-draft, by the way, just in case you think I'm actually thinking the admin did that. Thanks,
Are you serious? I don't believe you.
Sure, some guys. I don't want to be the guy who's incite some weird Reddit drama. As soon as I made the joke, I'm like, oh, some Reddit guy is going to actually think that's real, and then that'd be hype. Bias admins. You get an extra 10 seconds in draft. Oh god, that Lunar Illusion died so quickly.
It did. I mean, he's going to lose his first life, but Ice Blast being held for the moment. It's not going to connect. The boat does, but he just immediately BKBs. Oscar does have a nullifier available. They're looking for Pure. He's going to force the BKB, but the Vortex comes in from GPK, catching 3 heroes. Lumiere, he's got the damage from the backside, though, and they gets the kill. The Meld Bash will be enough to bring down that Storm Spirit. And Save will disengage, but gets caught by a trap for the moment. The Torrent, it does not connect, but they catch Pure instead. Wind Waker for the moment. He's looking for this opening, but he's out. Bulldoze provides barrier, and another barrier. Why not? Give him another one.
Yeah, but for Wawitas, right? Like, they got a couple kills. They're feeling pretty good, right? Especially for Storm Spirit. He used the refresher shard to try and get some quirky double zip plays, but then he had no mana, and yeah, things got a little bit weird. Nightfall, he sieges the top side while
there's an Ice Blast coming.
Winter's trying to do it.
They got him.
He's over.
He has no BKB. The question is, oh man, this is a huge kill. Meanwhile, on the backside, Lumiere as well as Panda might be in trouble. Well, Silence does connect on Duranto Tokyo, but does not have the detection at the moment. There's going to be another life drain decrep. This is causing too much annoyance here. So they get the Luna with no buyback.
She's only, I think, 200 gold away. 257 gold. There's only one bounty rune in play on the map.
All right.
But if Wawitas are aware of this, of course, you'd expect her to have buyback at this point. But if they have any inclination, the logic should be here, force buyback. When they get to the tier 3, when she isn't buybacking, they're like, wait a second. Don't get too carried away, though. Storm Spirit, Spirit Breaker, they are very, very formidable at the high ground, especially Lina with the LSA as well. Like, there is room for just outplay potential here, but
I mean, she has
a massive opportunity. They need to do something, Wawitas. The Luna is dead.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, 36 seconds before the Luna. They jump up onto the high ground. They catch GPK and he's gone. Nice play from Lumiere once again. And that will take the high ground. Tier 3 falls. They have a fortification available, and they are not going to use it. They are going to wait instead. As they're going to go for a second lane, but wait. Oh, Meld Bash doesn't connect. Nice little decrep there. Good response, but there's going to be saved. Grabbing the reincarnation of the Wraith King. He has a blink to safety. And the Luna coming up in 6 seconds. They might play a little bit more defensive. Well, they don't have creep waves because there's a Spirit Breaker. So they have to back.
You take the small wins when you can, right? Like, yeah. From the entire game being somewhat outpaced, you're kind of losing grip on it. You're getting picked off here and there. You're not able to connect the damage to suddenly getting like some key picks into then a Luna going for some YOLO rat play into death. It's like, don't think many people watching expected this one, but yeah, they're not out of it yet. And MKB now completed on the TA.
Yeah, huge.
Luna will just feed in this game. Like, one stun into Ice Blast plus TA, Luna is dead every single time. And of course, we haven't mentioned it, but Wraith King with the Aghanims is incredibly potent. Even if TA was to get picked off, if Wraith King's in proximity, TA will be able to, swift blink around, still get the kills, and die in her final 6 or 7 seconds of life, whatever. It was 7 seconds, yeah.
And Dark
So,
Mago
especially
finished up a
bonus
Hex
attack
as
speed.
well. Oh, GPK going in. He gets the Vortex onto 2. Grimstroke goes down first. That's huge. They're going to be able to finish off the Kunkka here potentially as well. He does fall.
Oh,
Oscar
no
goes
buy.
in looking for the Storm Spirit, but the damage is just not enough. He has a cheese available. Oscar, no reincarnation for 8 seconds. Ice Blast comes through. Is it going to buy him the time he needs? It will. He's going to be able to get that reincarnation off, but where's the team? He needs help, but it doesn't look like he's going to get it. LSA doesn't connect, but he is all alone. 3 heroes fall on the side of Wawitas as they get right back to pushing lanes.
Oh, just when the good things start happening for him, it all goes wrong. Like they're in a position of advantage, but then they're just running around the map. They're just like in the river at the 44-minute mark against Storm Spirit Breaker. They find this jump, they get chased down. Like they have high ground vision in the triangle. Why aren't they just protecting themselves with vision, allowing themselves to be in a position of advantage? It's just BetBoom are just such a punishing team, and they are making just positional mistakes time and time again, and I don't think BetBoom in any way will be happy. If they are to win this game, it won't be one of those ones where they're high-fiving. It's like, okay, guys, get the replay open instantly. Let's really dissect what happened here.
Yeah.
They are moving up to the bottom tier 3. This one should be falling very quick. Only had 100 HP.
Oh, the charge comes through immediately. The Vortex onto 2. Pure trying to bring down this Grimstroke before he can do anything. He does exactly that. Your base is cracked. Bottom lane falls so dang fast. And I mean, you've got to find something here, right? But Pure, he's just hiding on the side here, has a refresher ready to go. And a nice deep ward place to work with. They get any vision opening, and these supports just get absolutely melted, right? The Glimmer Capes don't save you anymore at this point. There's just too much damage coming out from the Spirit Breaker and from the Storm Spirit.
Yeah, especially because Storm can carry gem, right? Like, how often at this stage of the game, 45 minutes in, Lena does go down. 1,067 gold for save. His scoreline doesn't look too happy. Only 4, 6, and 7, right? But still hadn't died recently, and slowly have been stacking up. But going back to the Storm, it's like Storm is a hero that you don't really need a lot of items to have impact. Like, he has 22,000 gold, but he still has inventory slots for a gem, right?
Yeah.
And he's still holding his Falcon Blade that he bought time ago. He will be getting Shivas soon, but
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
boom, they're even walking up the high ground. Look how great. All 3 cores of BetBoom are positioned at basically the tier 2, tier 3 area bottom. Spirit Breaker was even inside the base at one point. They are.
Yeah, he's not afraid. I mean, with double BKB, double Wind Waker, there's not really a good way of dealing with this hero. Well, Roshan number 3, this includes the refresher, will be quite useful, but the question is, who carries the refresher? Do you think it goes to Wraith King, so he has like the 3 lives scenario? Okay, they do give it to the Wraith King.
Interesting.
Now you could go
I thought
Dark
Kunkka
Mago
might be
as
quite
well.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, for like double Hex, double Torrent Storm, but yeah, they opt to go for the Wraith King for now.
All right. I mean, all your damage feels like it's going to be coming from Lumiere here. You have a lot of zone control between the Kunkka and the Wraith King, and the Nullifier is definitely very helpful, but you've just got to give Lumiere a target to hit, and he will kill it, it seems like.
Yeah, they're going to have to react again to their base. TP and back. Bot and mid wave are getting pushed in.
He really needs an axe.
Buying a value like 30 seconds now removed from the Aegis because of this.
Oh, are they going to run into Pure here? Or rather, is Pure just going to run into Knight? Okay, he's fine. He's going to just drive on by.
Oh, he's going for Disperser. A 50-minute Disperser on Spirit Breaker. Okay.
All right, this is just getting ridiculous.
Of course, it does increase his move speed. It's AoE, so he can buff up his team if needed.
Radiant's top tower is under
Anything speed based on Spirit Breaker does allow him to continue scaling to just do damage. I would expect him to maybe... Yeah, okay, cool. Sell Midas. But what inventory slot does he use? Is he going to put Phase Boots away and just have Disperser as his move item?
Yeah, I think so. All right,
Oh, he's got his inventory so nicely ordered, yeah. Whee!
Very cool.
Oh, it's like 400. It's also a lower cooldown, right? It's 11 seconds for Disperser and 9.8. So it's practically in sync between the two.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Disperser Spirit Breakers in my life, but the fact that he goes Disperser over like the Charge of Darkness Aghanim Scepter is a little bit surprising to me. But, oh, here we go once again. GPK with a little Vortex action into a nice LSA to 2. But, okay, Lumiere gets a nice pick off onto this Pugna. And a good X-play from Dark Mago as well. I mean, that was definitely communicated. They see the gem on the ground there. Lumiere goes in, gets caught, and pulled right back out. I mean, you have these like ink swells as well as these X pullbacks. Oh, you get the Luna illusion you can send to the high ground now. That is actually really scary.
Start the siege.
Yeah, this is who needs to put your own heroes in danger when you can do that? Pure has to be very careful. Hex actually catches the real Luna. The Nullifier, the both. He's going to be able to BKB. Sends the Eclipse back the other way, but the Ice Blast is going to connect Oscar. So that reincarnation, the science onto the GPK. The Meld Bash is there, but he gets away for the moment. You've lost the Spirit Brick. You lost the Luna. He's going to buy back. But boy, does Oscar have a lot of lives to play with. That is a amazing find.
Just pause for a second. We spoke about Disperse, but I just blindly assumed he had buyback. He bought the item, which removed his buyback. And now Luna had the buyback, and they're looking at top racks.
Okay, wait a minute. Lumiere might be in trouble, though. Oscar goes in, grabs the Pugna. Nullifier gets the kill. Okay.
What is happening?
2 dead, no buyback. Dark Mago, a little bit of a defensive BKB here, or preemptive BKB, rather. But this is going to be mega creeps for Wawitas, and at this point, they're for sure. There's no Spirit Breaker buyback. They want to end this. If Grimstroke gets another Dark Portrait off this illusion, and he will do exactly that, Lumiere might be in some trouble. The Wraith King looking for an opening. Ice Blast coming through. Does not connect, but the boat will. The fleet going back and forth. Dark Mago trying to do what he can. Pull some heroes the other side of the Ancient. But the base, it's exposed, man. Tier 4 is falling one by one. Another jump in from GPK. Lumiere catches an LSA. But the turnaround, they're looking for Lena. The Nullifier's there. She goes down. Storm Spirit catches the Torrents. He's got nothing left in the tank. And Wawitas will actually take game number 2 here. Unless...
the buyback on Storm. Hold.
Hey, hold. I mean, Lumiere, he's got his eyes on the prize. The throne is taking so much damage. Nice ink swell there. Pure's back into the game, baby. Can they do it? No, the reincarnation bonus. They've done it, baby. Closing the series.